Alright, so let's get this straight. Hollywood is basically melting down into a steaming puddle of egos and cheap political point scoring, and this time we've got George Clooney and Sylvester Stallone at the center of the circus. Honestly, if I had to pick a tagline for this fiasco, it'd be something like when Hollywood's political preening leaves, even the popcorn's stale. Let's start with Clooney. Here's a guy who built a career charming audiences, now getting flack from pretty much everyone, and what does he do? He decides to drag Stallone into the gutter with him. It's like watching a drowning man try to pull the lifeboat under. The supposed reason? Political differences and some vague claims about Stallone's views that, conveniently, Clooney can't tolerate on camera. Yeah, because that's exactly what the world wants to see. Another actor weaponizing outrage while clutching his pearls over who he might have to share a stage with. Stallone, on the other hand, comes off like the adult in a room full of tantrum-throwing toddlers. He's basically saying, sure, let's talk, let's find common ground, while Clooney is busy hissing, no, I don't want to sit next to him. It's like a playground showdown where one kid wants to solve the problem and the other kid is just screaming that the slide belongs to him and nobody else. Stallone might not be perfect, who is? But at least he's not turning down a chance for dialogue. Meanwhile, Clooney's spinning his refusal as some high-minded act of principle, when really it looks a lot more like cowardice. If your beliefs are so righteous, why not defend them on stage, man? Then there's the cameo by Robert De Niro, who apparently couldn't stomach appearing alongside Stallone either. Hilarious. The same crowd that preaches tolerance and openness can't even sit down for a talk show chat with someone who sees the world a bit differently. They're so terrified of being tainted by opposing opinions that they're practically building panic rooms around their ideologies. The whole thing reeks of insecurity. I mean, if your stance is that fragile, maybe you should be questioning it rather than barricading yourself behind self-righteous soundbites. CNN, for its part, tried to spin this whole fiasco as some grand unifying spectacle and failed spectacularly. Big shocker, the network known for talk, and not much else can't bring two actors into the same room. One of them is too busy freaking out over his public image while the other's standing there, willing to chat. The idea that this could have been a moment of bridge building is laughable when you think about how quickly Clooney noped out of it. Unity. Hollywood doesn't know the meaning of the word right now. It's every celebrity for themselves, and if that means stabbing at Stallone's reputation to look pure and principled, so be it. Let's cut through the nonsense. Clooney, once admired for his suave presence, is now seen as the guy who'd rather burn a project to the ground than share a spotlight with someone who doesn't sing from his political hymn sheet. Stallone, meanwhile, looks like a saint by default. He's at least open-minded enough to try, which in Hollywood's current climate counts as a damn miracle. So what's the takeaway from this circus? Hollywood is desperately clinging to relevance while its biggest names cower behind their image and brand integrity rather than engage with different viewpoints. Stallone tried to show that you can have a conversation without losing your soul. Clooney and company? They've pretty much shown that they'd rather let the ship sink than row in the same boat with someone who dares to disagree. In the end, this whole debacle just feels like a sad, pathetic display of celebrity fragility. Once upon a time, these were supposed to be artists who valued discussion and dialogue. Now they're petty kings and queens, guarding their territories and refusing to share the stage. And we're left shaking our heads, wondering if they even realize how ridiculous they look.